It is noon in Madrid. It is 5 a.m. in Mexico City. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is World 1, live from London. Spain is a country in the mood for celebrating. Its team brought national pride after becoming champions of European football once again. The Spanish side beat Italy 4-0 in Sunday night's Euro 2012 final. They are the first team ever to win 3 major tournaments in 6 parties well into the early hours of the morning. And no doubt there will be much more revelry in Spain today as the country prepares a hero's welcome for their team and the coveted Euro 2012 championship trophy. We've got team coverage of the Euro 2012. CNN's Al Goodman is in Madrid and in Italy, where fans could almost taste victory. We are joined in Rome by CNN's Amanda Davis. Let's go first to you, Al, in Madrid, and tell us about, well, do I even need to ask how the mood is?
No, you don't. Shall we just end it right there, Monita? It has been a non-stop celebration. Look, we went to bed around 3 in the morning. We're up just a few hours later.
There in Madrid. Well, let's take you now over to Rome, where I'm sure it's not as bright and sunny as it is in Madrid.
It's not, Monita. Even though the sun is shining, it's amazing how quickly you can forget a football match, isn't it?
Well, there's a silver lining there. Amanda, thank you very much for that. We appreciate that. Amanda Davis there in Rome. We want to see what newspapers are saying about this in the United Arab Emirates. The National has this headline: Spain answered their critics in style. And it goes on to say criticism seemed a red rag to this particular bull. The doubters had grown in volume, the skeptics in size. Italy were starting to win the neutrals' vote. Spain were too predictable. It was an argument that was defeated just as swiftly as the Italian defense was pierced. In Britain, there's a comment piece in The Guardian headline, the greatest team ever. It says, it now feels faintly bizarre that a team of this brilliance could be accused of not playing with enough shine. Boring Spain? The debate is so ridiculous, it should be put in a box and kept in a place where we do not have to be subjected to it again. Also here in Britain, this is the headline in the Daily Telegraph, simply the best performance you'll ever see. And it says, the rest of the world has got to try and figure out a way to beat Spain, but when they play like they did last night, you have to say they are on a completely different level at the moment. Of course, you can read all those articles on our Facebook page here on CNN. Well, Barclays' interest rate scandal has sent its chairman packing. Marcus Agius announced today his resignation, saying the controversy has dealt a devastating blow to the banking giant. Well, in announcing his resignation as Barclays chairman, Marcus Agius said, the buck stops with me, but will his departure take the heat off others like CEO Bob Diamond? Well, Jim Bolton joins us now in the studio with more than that. This is an interesting thing I read here. A former Liberal Democrat Treasury spokesman had said that, well, he said this on Sunday night. He said, Diamond must go. Agius was only a passenger. Diamond is the driver in the Barclays car crash. Ouch.
Yeah, but he is the driver. He is the face of Barclays, Bob Diamond. He is the voice.
Thank you very much for that. We appreciate that. You're watching World 1. Coming up, a fiesta for democracy. More than a decade on the political sidelines, Mexico's PRI party is celebrating what appears to be its return to power. Enrique Peña Nieto is projected to win the presidency with 38% of the vote. Well, thank you for that, Rafael Romo there in Mexico City. And of former Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir will lie in state at the Israeli Knesset for a few more hours. Government ministers who attended Sunday's weekly cabinet meeting stood in silent tribute to the late leader. He will be buried later this Monday. World Affairs reporter Elise Labott joins us now live from Jerusalem. Elise, what did he mean to the country?
Well, he was really one of the great Monita ideologues of Israel, really steadfast in the creation of...
Elise, thank you for that. Elise Labott there in Jerusalem. You are watching World 1 live from London. Coming up, international agreement on a new plan for Syria. Reactors are being brought back to life for the first time since being shut down after the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster. The first power plant to be reactivated is the Ohi plant in western Japan, and that plant came online on Sunday, but its relaunch has attracted huge controversy. Paula Hancock reports. You're watching World One live from London. Attacks on churches in Kenya. Well, Mr. Peña Nieto is promising to run a government that's democratic and open to criticism, and that he will fight organized crime with a new strategy. We're joined now by Rodrigo Aguilera, a Mexico analyst for the Economist Intelligence Unit. Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Aguilera. What do you think he can do that his opponent has not been able to do?
Well, there's many things. I think a lot of the reasons why there was a disillusionment with the party.
There are two major issues that the Mexican electorate are concerned about, and one is the economy, you touched upon that, but also security. We're talking about the influence and the power of drug cartels. The number of people that have been killed in the last few years has almost topped 50,000 people, and it's an issue that neither the predecessor and the incoming president have, it seems as though, the strength and the will to fight.
Well, the proposals with regards to security from all the three candidates are actually...
It will be interesting to see what happens once the final tally is counted a little bit later on this week. Rodrigo Aguilera, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
4 aid workers kidnapped from a refugee camp along the Kenyan border with Somalia last week have been released following a military operation to free them. The workers were ambushed by gunmen last week at Dadaab refugee camp while traveling in a convoy. David McKenzie there in Nairobi. Syrian opposition leaders have slammed an agreement that they say could allow President Bashar al-Assad to stay in power. Opposition groups are meeting in Cairo today as tensions flare on the Turkish-Syrian border. Turkey says it scrambled fighter jets 3 times over the weekend in response to Syrian military helicopters that flew. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton speaking to CNN's Jul02. You're watching World One live from London. It's becoming a welcome habit for Spain. Every couple of years, their football team goes to a major tournament and, in thrilling fashion, well, it wins it. They've just done it for an unprecedented 3rd time in a row. What's going to get more now from Alex Thomas? And a lot of people are asking, does that make them the best team in the world?
Well, listen, we'll look at that World Sports at 5 o'clock tonight, London time. But for now, let's just bask in the rules. And the women all in action on the same day too. They're probably more interesting matches. Kim Clijsters against one of the rising stars, Angelique Kerber, caught my eye.
The weather will hold up, because you know it's always unpredictable.
It's looking shocking.
It is, yeah.
It's fair to say.
Well, at least they've got the roof for one of the courts. All right, Alex, thank you very much. You are watching World One live from London. Parts of the United States will have to deal with another day of record-breaking heat, and making matters worse, heavy storms knocking out power to hundreds of thousands of homes in Atlanta, Georgia. Temperatures reached 41 degrees Celsius on Sunday. Now live from Montgomery County, Maryland. Athena, thanks for being with us. So there's the heat, but there's also the storms that are causing massive power outages. Tell us about that.
Well, that's right. The storms that swept through this part of the country, a broad swath of the country from central.
Athena, thank you for that. Athena Jones there reporting to us there from Montgomery County in Maryland. We want to see what the temperature is, if it's likely to ease off anytime soon. Meteorologist Mari Ramos is at the World Weather Center. Mari, it's summer. Granted, it's early summer. It does get pretty hot in central and definitely down where you are in the southeast of the United States. Is this unprecedented?
It is unprecedented in the sense that there are so many record temperatures that have been broken of the continent. Back to you.
Mari, thank you very much for that. You take care of yourself down there in Atlanta. We appreciate that. You're watching World One live from London. I'm Monita Rajpal. Thank you for joining us. We'll update you with the news headlines in just a couple of minutes right here on CNN.